Hey people, how's it going? Tanger here. Working on a cool new project, building a brand new base design. After all the years, I've been building pretty much the same kind of designs. This is a brand new one, and it's kind of a midpoint between like an outpost and a full-on base build. It's pretty big for an outpost and not really big enough for a main base, but it's pretty cool. It's high-tech. It's got a lot of stuff crammed in here, a lot of utility. It's still a work in progress. I don't have everything fleshed out. But what I'm working on right now is an elevator. I'm going to put an elevator right here. It will go from the main part of the base up to the top. And I'm going to make a bigger video talking about the rest of the base later. But for now, I'm going to talk about elevators because there's a lot of bad information out there about elevators, how they work, and how to fix them right. So what you'll probably notice pretty quick if you ever try to use an elevator and you're in a base that's not on the ground is that you can't just place an elevator on them anymore. At one point, I think you actually could, but people found some sort of ways to make platforms just fly, and they broke it. So now you can't do that. So some people will try to come up with different solutions, like running the shafts all the way to the ground. But the problem with that is, if you run a shaft all the way to the ground, you're really high up. It's going to be really expensive. I can't run the shaft all the way to the ground. It's quite a ways down there, and those aren't cheap pieces. And plus, the other thing is the elevator will actually want to travel all the way down to the ground, which is useless and not going to work for me. So, what we're going to do, here's what I found out with some experimentation, is that elevators will snap to cables. So we're going to build one using that, and I'll show you how to line it up real nice and clean where it comes right flush with the floor and goes right up to the spot where you want it, all that sort of stuff. Alright, so let's get right into it. I'm going to put a ladder right here, kind of line this up nice and straight. Aim yourself down a little bit. And I'm going to put a table right here. The table is an important part of this method. Basically, it puts the snap point for the cable high enough that it sits real nice and flush with the final elevator sits real nice and flush with the floor. So put that down there. I'm going to get cable. Line myself back up again. And I'm going to go into the view here. And I'm going to try and place this cable middle part right in the middle of the floors. And the elevator platform itself will line up, should line up right around here. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, so next thing we want to do is put the actual elevator shafts on, and they'll snap to this cable just like a pillar. So I'm going to run these all the way up, and they're actually snapping to this cable right now. And you'll see the power lines will go off to the nearest outlet at first. Don't worry about that, those will be gone later, because yeah, that's pretty ugly. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to put vertical cables in the shaft. And now that I have those vertical cables, I don't need this one anymore, because it'll still count as being snapped to the vertical one. So right now this whole elevator shaft is connected to this snap point right here. So if I move this bottom one, if I take it down, the whole elevator will collapse. So keep that in mind. You have to leave the bottom one. You have to keep it, even if you need to keep that. I'm going to put my outlet up on the top though, because it's they flicker and they're ugly. And I'm going to go ahead and connect one of these Y cables. I have another line already going into the roof, coming off from the ceiling. So now it's connected. Okay, now you can see it's powered. There's a bit of a flicker up there. The next time I reload, all these wires right here, they'll go away, and it'll instead connect to that outlet up there, so it won't look so ugly. Alright, so that's our completed elevator shaft. Now we want to put the platform on it, and let's see if it's going to work. Come back down. There we go. Look at that. Nice and flush. You can walk right onto it without having to jump. Let me get rid of this. So the reason I kind of set it back a little bit from the doorway here, the whole reason I set this wall back from here is so that there would be enough of a space between this and this so that I don't have to squat. I can just walk right onto it and elevate on up. And it should come nice and clean right near the edge of the teleporter. Nice and clean. And it looks pretty good. Let's check one more thing. Will I fall off the edge if I walk right into it? Nope. Okay. If you have it too close to the railing and you hit the rail, you'll fall right off the rail. So that looks like it lined up really well. I can go right on across. Oh, well, I actually did go up under the rail that time. Why didn't it go on the rail earlier? Okay, so got to be a little careful hitting the rail because apparently you can still sometimes fall off. So it's a little close, but mostly I'm not falling off. Why did I fall off the one time? Oh well. Otherwise, yeah, it's nice and clean. Real level with the floor. Real level with the top. No extra shaft going all the way down the bottom. Everything still counts as supported. It is a win. Alright, anyway, that's the main thing I wanted to make the video about today is how to do a nice clean elevator to fit the needs of your base without having to spend a fortune if you're way up in the air, for example. And that is that. I'll make another video at some point, probably soon, talking about this new build I'm working on. And that'll wrap it up for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye.